They're drafting in units from all over.
Shadow quality has jags, so maybe this is real gameplay, because if it was pre-rendered, they'd smooth that shit out, right? Like, it's also a bad thing because the shadows have jags, but it also kind of convinces me that this is real.
Sorry, sir, just a formality.
It might be also the compression of the stream that makes the shadows look like they have jags.
What happened to play? Where did that go? Yeah, well, and they don't go straight from the exclusive. I know, it's ridiculous.
I think I'm just going to go out there.
I'd be more comfortable if there was a guy on stage right now playing it, like, to prove that it was real gameplay, but... So based on all Killzone footage I've seen in the past, this looks like it's a prequel, kind of, isn't it? Because didn't Killzone always take place in the post-apocalyptic? This looks like it's when it happened, or something. I don't know much about Killzone. Why'd he do that? Why'd he spend so much time doing it is the question. What the? Is that Ezio? Oh, it looks so much like Assassin's Creed. He has a red sash and like... That's gonna be everybody's comment on this video. Is that it's a crossover with Assassin's Creed. I can't be the only one who saw that.
Sergeant, give me a sit rep. We're in the lobby, sir. We got multiple hostiles, heavy civilian casualties. Hear me, Sergeant?
Reflections on the gun look good. I really hope to get a, sorry, can I keep plugging around out there? I really hope to get a really high quality version of this before the show tonight, because that's the only true way I'm going to be able to tell. The foliage looked simplistic enough to be in-game footage again. I feel like if they had pre-rendered, they probably would have made that foliage look a lot more detailed. So I don't think they're faking it. I liked all these sparks and these like sort of half-burned debris of paper floating down. Kind of feels like Dishonored style gameplay a little bit. I don't know why, it's just like... It's all because of alien colonial marines that we're all like skeptical of previews now. On the eve of, or on the, not the eve, the aftermath of colonial marines, everybody's jaded. The bloom effects look nice. I mean... Oh wow, the compression's having a really hard time with this part. Again, the buildings is what makes me think this is incredible. Like, those reflections are insane. And the size of this world that they're flying through here, this is a pretty damn open environment. And expansive. So that was cool. Oh, there's a guy on stage. They were playing that, man. Holy fuck, they were playing it. Were they playing it? We're gonna have to hear from the journalists whether they think he really was. Also, somebody, can you guys go to the official YouTube for that company and see if that video just got posted? Because that would be very cool if that just got posted. Go to the Gorilla YouTube if they have an official one, or go to PlayStation's YouTube if they have an official, well, they do have an official one. Could you do that for me, guys? Just like, start camping those pages, see if it pops up.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Matt Southern from Evolution Studios, and we're making the game we've always wanted to make. It's called Driveclub. And it's all about team-based racing.
It might also pop up on like an official Killzone YouTube, maybe.
To be able to tell you
maybe they have a new channel called Killzone Shadowfall.
Studio for 10 years. We trademarked the name Driveclub 9 years ago. You can check it online. And it's hard.
Okay.
It's always been a very simple
I honestly
concept
have to pee really bad, and I'm going to take a racing game as an opportunity to
run in the world, in the greatest locations in the world, but crucially, doing it together. And we've literally waited for the technology to be available to deliver our vision. We've visited the greatest car companies there are to share this vision for next-gen team racing. And they love that Driveclub isn't just about cars and locations, not even just about winning races, but about people, about collaborative gameplay with friends in teams. Next generation no longer just means more powerful hardware. We're the next generation of gamer. We want to play great-looking games like this, but in new ways that fit our permanently connected social lives. And to us, that means driving in a team. Driveclub is a game to play in real clubs, asynchronously and in real time, against other clubs all around the world. The gameplay isn't specifically about races, it's about challenges, and rewards you for playing in groups even if you aren't top of the leaderboard, much like the best squad-based first-person shooters do. I can also fire up the Driveclub app on my phone or tablet, pick a race type, pick the cars, pick any time of day, in any weather, at any time of the year, set a time, and then send that challenge all around the world. Then I can watch the drama unfold as hundreds of players and clubs try to become the best at my challenge. We're talking 24/7, untethered access to your club, no matter where you are, home or away.
Nothing of consequence.
It's a short team drag
Why has he got a
race
Sony tablet there?
1,000-player tournament with hundreds of teams. Every section of every track is packed with challenges. First-person games are also great at transporting you and your friends fully into their worlds. And we're using first-person perspective to make sure you and your mates feel exactly how you should.
Gorilla's website is
when you own
down.
a car like this.
Okay.
We're
Thanks for the info.
recreating them with obsessive.
It's going to be a race at the end of the show
These are two
to
of the
get as
fastest production
high-quality
cars in
footage
the
as I
world.
can of all of
Hennessy
this.
Venom GT,
Like, I don't care about the
Koenigsegg,
guys talking if that's high quality,
and
but
they're
that
as close as
gameplay
you'll
is
get
absolutely
to the real
essential
thing
that I get that in
terms
high
of
quality.
Detail and accuracy, with totally correct material parameters, painstakingly measured from the real thing, using our custom-built photometric apparatus. We've gone borderline insane with real-world details and subtleties. We've modelled the direction of each microscopic metallic flake of paint in multiple layers. We've emulated the effect of each individual thread in the weave of the carbon fibre, so the pattern alters realistically with the lighting angle. The lights
So this is supposed to be like
themselves are fully
in-engine.
modelled using multiple layers of reflectors.
Not
and
impressive.
lenses that
If you've
reflect
all you've
the
got is
real
this
bulbs
car
of the
loaded
vehicle.
up, then
And we've
big
modelled
fucking
those
deal.
rainbow patterns you get.
We don't know that this
when
is
you
how it
wax
will
the
look
plastic
when you zoom
around
into
the
it on the
corners.
game. It'll
Even
probably
the
be only in
suede
this like.
carpet have a fibre
Remember
direction,
Forza? It had a viewing
causing
mode
them
where
to
it like
reflect light
rendered the car
differently
really high
brushed
resolution.
or touched.
Isn't that what they're actually advertising here too? It's like
In fact,
first-person perspective. You
let's
get
climb
to.
into a car now. This isn't cockpit view. This is true first-person racing. The exquisite feeling of opening the door, breathing in the experience,
Fucking car porn.
strapping yourself in, and firing up.
If there's a stupid or expensive hobby, I don't know it. Yeah, I don't know it.
It's such a thrill for a studio to be able to help define new PlayStation technology so that we can finally bring our vision for team-based racing to life. That's just a brief glimpse of Driveclub. We can't wait to show you more.
In other words, that wasn't driving mode. You're not going to be able to drive away with the car in that high a detail. You're going to go into it. Oh! Maybe? No. Yep, see, they loaded up a new mode. You can already tell it's less detailed. I was right, I was right, I was right. The car will not be that detailed in-game. You'll be in a viewing mode where it's hyper detailed and like you can only just get up close to it and stuff, and then you get in and it'll load up a driving mode. Still looks good, because I mean, you're not going to zoom in on the carbon fiber while you're driving, right? But they kind of did want you to think that it was how the car would look in-game. Compression's taking a hit again here. See, Forza has a mode too where you can like look at the car really close and check it out, and it looks way better than it should on an Xbox, but that's because it's not racing mode. Crowd looks like shit, as usual. There you go, for the people who say that we don't need better graphics. How about crowds in games? Like in hockey games, sports games, and other stuff like that. Crowds have always looked assy, even today.
In 1999, I took part in a political rally and got tear-gassed by the cops. Now, up until then, I'd always thought the police were there to protect me, to protect the people that I cared about. But on that day, they didn't. We all want to feel safe, right? But it is hard to put your finger on what that sense of security is worth. However, it is easy to separate costs. Right now, there are 4.2 million security cameras distributed all around.
Oh, it's Watch Dogs,
Britain.
right? This is Watch Dogs, isn't it?
One camera for every 14 citizens. In 2011, the U.S. government seized the personal cell phone records of 1.3 million of its citizens. There are 1,200 of us in here today. 4 of us have been monitored. And 2 years ago, American travelers spent a combined 75,000 years waiting in airport security. You add that all up, that is 1,000 lifetimes lost in line in just 1 year.
Civil unrest.
Our
The game.
security comes at a high price.
I'll probably say that again tonight on the show and trailer.
Our freedom.
Just so you know.
Now, picture how things would change, how the world would react if a handful of people suddenly developed superhuman abilities, capable of unleashing incredible carnage without ever pulling a trigger or lighting a fuse. These people would be living, breathing
This isn't
weapons
Watch Dogs.
that could pass through any metal detector or X-ray scanner or even a strip search completely undetectable. We already live in a culture of fear. Picture how things would change. How much control would any of us have over our own lives? And which of us would have the courage to fight to get our freedoms back?
Oh God, this is getting pretty heavy.
I'm Nate Fox, here to introduce to you Sucker Punch's latest game, exclusive for the PlayStation 4.
What has Sucker Punch made before, guys? Can you help me out? I can't remember anything they've done. Infamous?
Your safety is our top.
They make Infamous? Sly Cooper? Okay.
The DUC is in control.
G6 status. G7 status.
So Infamous 3 confirmed, I guess, then.
H1 status. What the hell? What was that?
I don't know.
What should we do?
Status.
The DUC is in control of the situation.
Again, these graphics are looking pretty fucking amazing. Like, the reflection on that guy's helmet was looking awesome. But it looks approachable still. Like, her hair looked kind of still current gen. So...
I want him alive.
that looks like CG. But maybe it's just because it was using a cinematic angle.
Control of the situation.
Yeah, if these are like real-time particle effects, it's pretty impressive.
You are not in control.
Oh, okay. Infamous Second Son. Will they call that Infamous 3, or they've gotten rid of the numbers, I guess?
Thanks, Nate. And I'm pretty sure he's just won the backstage suite for the coolest game introduction of the night there. And thanks to all the guys for introducing 3 already amazing-looking games that not only look fantastic, but allow a depth of gameplay that will take our players to a new level of immersion.
Did Cole have a romantic affiliation with an Asian girl? Because that might be his son?
Gameplay experience.
He was Asian, wasn't he? He looked kind of Asian.
That means deeper and more intense versions of experiences that we know we already love. But sometimes best...
I didn't play Infamous 2, so I don't know. Like
things that don't always fit. Things that can help us pioneer new ways to play and embrace the unexpected. PlayStation will always be a leader in encouraging creators to push the boundaries. From supporting smaller indies with their highly innovative and sometimes left-field ideas, to supporting more established teams in their quest to take creative risks.
He had a platonic relationship with one Asian girl.
Simply won't.
Oh yeah, I think I remember that. I played through one on my own.
I'd like to take you on an adventure.
I liked it.
Into the imaginations of 3 amazing creators who continue to inspire us with their unique visions. The first comes from one of the world's most acclaimed independent developers. PlayStation remains steadfast in our support for the indie development community. By offering self-publishing on PlayStation Network, we'll continue to provide the most open console to enable smaller developers to easily bring their breakthrough titles to PlayStation.
Can't believe this many people are watching me.
So please join
just
me
watching the press
on
conference.
Stage, the creator of the
Make sure you tune in tonight for a more fun one with the whole cruise reaction.
Introduced his team's latest creation.
Oh, it's the Braid creator.
Debut on PlayStation 4.
This guy like never leaves his house. He does, but I mean, he's a weird one. This guy. Is it him? Yeah, it is. Wow. I've never seen him on a stage before.
I really don't know what I'm going to do to follow up after all those explosions, but we'll see what happens, I guess. Anyway, due to the success of Braid, we've managed to found a new small development studio, and we've been working on our new game, which is called The Witness, for 3.5 years now. It's a game where you explore a mysterious abandoned island and solve the puzzles that you find
looks
there.
Really...
But at its heart, at its core, it's a game about epiphany, that instantaneous transition of the mind that takes you from confusion to understanding. You know, 1 minute your situation seems impossible, you have no idea what the solution to your problem would even look like. And then the next minute you see everything. It's all very simple and clear. And you wonder how you couldn't have seen this solution before.
Okay, so it's still going to have puzzles.
You know,
when I first saw this previewed, I thought it was just going to be very artistic and
these kind of little aha moments in them. But in The Witness, we take this aha substance and distill it into a concentrated form. And in doing so, we make design decisions the opposite way that most games would. The Witness takes place in an open world, so you can go wherever you want to at any time. But whereas most games in open worlds try to make their worlds as big as possible, so you'll be impressed by the sheer scale of the endeavor, in The Witness, we're trying to make the world as compact as possible, so that you have a very dense experience that makes the best use of your time.
Okay, but
wherever you're standing in this open world, there are 3 or 4 different destinations with completely different themes within 20 seconds of walking from where you are. New interesting things around every corner, and everything in the world is carefully placed, and everything is where it is for a reason. A lot of games try to pad their playtime so that they seem long, but in this game, we work very, very hard to cut anything that's redundant. There's no filler.
I like the sounds of this.
Now, it's a puzzle game, but the puzzles aren't just arbitrary. They don't exist just to be puzzles for you to solve. Every puzzle has an idea inside it. And on the design side, we work very, very hard to communicate in a nonverbal way the essence of each idea. Now, even with this focus on compactness, we've managed to put together a game with 25 hours of gameplay, of unique puzzles, everyone bringing you something different. And in the release window, PlayStation 4
Did he say 24 hours of gameplay?
That The Witness is on.
Wow, exclusive
now,
PS3
it's a
too.
game that happens really all in your mind, much more so than on the screen anyway. But nevertheless, tonight we've put together our first official trailer.
Finally, nice.
Let's roll the clip.
Because I've seen footage of The Witness that looked just very artsy and abstract, and I was like, oh god, he's gone off his rocker, like he's just going to do abstract now. This is kind of looking like Datura right off the bat, eh? You know what I'm saying? Like... It looks way better than when I first saw it. It's like a more colorful Datura. People are going to compare this to Fez too, I bet. Mist, I'm reminded of. Sorry for my sniffles, guys. It looks like it's going to be a fun experience for the show. Like, the lack of characters kind of troubles me, because I like characters in any game regardless, you know. Some
Thanks,
sort of
Jonathan.
drama.
Wonderful stuff. And how about
but
what other event
solving puzzles is fun on the show.
Killzone, followed by the mesmerizing and thought-provoking Witness. And speaking of Killzone, at the end of
when you think about it, Journey had characters
Stephen
in a
hit the
way,
new share button and uploaded it directly to the Killzone Facebook page. So as soon as we're done here, please go check it out. Okay, so what follows now are not game presentations, but a glimpse of the future, sure to challenge your current vision of gaming. Two of our wonderfully talented creators will give us an early glimpse into their concepting process and demonstrate what is possible when you combine PlayStation 4 with unbridled creativity. So first up, please welcome, from the award-winning Quantic Dream, David Cage.
Here we go. What's he going to show? Is it going to be Beyond Two Souls, or is it going to be something to do with the Kara demo? And how preachy is he going to be?
When people ask me, what is the feature you want the most on future hardware platforms? My answer is always the same: emotion. Getting the player emotionally involved.
When people ask me, are games good? I say, always the same.
We all try to trigger
they are
intense,
shit.
subtle, and diverse emotions.
Games are shitty.
We try to make players forget.
Kind of sums up everything he ever says about other video games.
Pixels on the screen. We don't want them just to watch something. We want them to leave it and suspend their disbelief, experiencing that magic moment where they live in a different reality. Emotion is something complex and challenging to capture. It's conveyed by graphics, animation, sound, cinematography, dialogue, of course, gameplay. In a medium like ours,
what's your prediction, guys?
Technology
Beyond Two Souls or Kara demo something to do with it?
It is what we rely on.
Would they work on two games at once?
Involved. If you look in the past, some films were highly emotional while being silent and in black and white.
Heavy Rain 2?
But they were limited in their expression.
How could you have a Heavy Rain 2?
That had to be told under heavy technical constraints. Actors had to exaggerate their moves to convey their emotions.
He loses his kids
Cameras could
again.
hardly move, and lighting as well as photography were barely concepts at the time. Cinema really became what it is today when technology evolved enough to let movie directors and actors create the subtle emotions
a Christmas rendition of Heavy Rain.
Eventually, they developed sound, color, lighting, and higher resolution formats, and suddenly, the audience could see in the eyes of the actors when they were lying or when they were about to cry. Pantomimes were not necessary anymore because the most subtle nuances of emotions could be seen on screen. With the PlayStation 4, games have now finally reached that stage. In 1999, Quantic Dream's first game, Omicron, featured characters with 350 polygons. Indigo Prophecy's main characters were around 1,500 polys.
Because poly count really has to do with the emotion elicited from the player, right?
At 20,000.
That's funny that he starts off on how emotion is the most important thing in gaming.
Polygons.
Right into a conversation about polygons.
This is what you can get.
Oh, okay, he's going to talk about emotion then, and realism.
Quantic Dream has developed a
wow.
completely new engine. What you see is running in real-time 3D on a PlayStation 4. It is our first attempt at using advanced skin shaders with translucency, realistic ice shaders, volumetric lights, 3D depth of field, and many, many other features that were up until today reserved to CG films. This is the quality that we will get in our future games, and we know we can go even
Keep
further.
in mind, this is in an environment in which nothing else is loaded
we
but the
start to reach
face.
a point where you can see very subtle emotions on the face of a character, where you can feel his emotions just looking at his face, where you can see his soul just looking into his eyes. When you look at this old man, you can imagine who he is, what he thinks, what happened to him, without him saying a word. With the PlayStation 4, game creators can
Still,
now
even if it is only the face loaded,
and simply
that's pretty
focus on
impressive.
inventing
Like, that looks
experiences
beautiful.
never seen before. We can concentrate on what amazing stories we want to tell and what incredible worlds we want to create. We can take you to places you have never been before and make you feel emotions that you have never felt in real life without having to wonder if we will have the horsepower to do so. We are now only limited by our imagination. Thank you.
Really? Oh man. I was hoping for something there.